All right, Green Thumb Gardening family. I'd like to unleash back at you from right here at the Green Thumb Gardening channel, right here in Grow Zone 8B in Tifton, Georgia. And we'll bring you guys this evening's video from the comfort of our high tunnel greenhouse. And the subject of today's video is the tomatoes and the peppers that we're currently growing here in the rear of our high tunnel greenhouse here in the containers. So you guys can see we have a elevated rack here along the rear wall of our high tunnel greenhouse, and on that rack we have several varieties of peppers. In fact, the same varieties of peppers that we were growing in our backyard food forest prior to the colder weather of fall setting in here in the bad weather we've been having here lately. At any rate, from end to end, what we have here is we have one miniature red sweet bell pepper plant here that we dug up from Easley Island in our backyard food forest. It's currently sporting a couple of peppers and several blossoms. We did a kind of prune back on these plants when we potted these plants up to take some of the strain off of the root system. It worked out very well for us, and our plants are beginning to bounce back and beginning to put on fruit here in our high tunnel greenhouse. Next up, we have one of our propagated Better Boy tomato plants from one of our Better Boy tomato plants that we were growing on Harvest Hill earlier this season in our backyard food forest. In this container, we have one yellow sweet bell pepper. This is the large size, and we have one orange sweet bell pepper here in this container. In this container here, we have one of our chocolate peppers plants from down at Little Creek Homestead in our backyard food forest. And again, we got the seeds for these peppers from our dear friend Vicky. Thanks again, Vicky. These pepper plants are still producing well for us, and we intend to plant these pepper plants back out in our backyard food forest at the beginning of next grow season. Here in this container, we have two more of those chocolate pepper plants from down at Little Creek Homestead in our backyard food forest. As you can see, most of these plants sporting some nice sized chocolate peppers here for us. Next up, we have another one of our propagated Better Boy tomato plants. It's putting on blossoms. It's actually came out for all of our tomato plants since we put them in our high tunnel greenhouse. We've been hand pollinating both our pepper plants and our tomato plants back here because it's again, the fall season is less pollinators around. We do open up the rear of our high tunnel greenhouse once the temperatures reach a warm enough temperature every morning, and we shut it down at night to keep pests from being attracted to our plants in our greenhouse. So we do get pollinators in our greenhouse during the day hours when there are pollinators around. There's not that many around, so we typically come out here and hand pollinate both our tomato plants and our pepper plants here in our high tunnel greenhouse, and we've been pretty successful, as you guys can see, in getting some peppers and both some peppers and some cherry tomatoes over here in this final container going on. We came out here and we hand pollinated this plant also because, again, it's been in this high tunnel greenhouse for about 3 weeks since we dug it up and potted it up in this 4-gallon container here, and it too has successfully begun to set tomatoes for us here. These are the cherry tomatoes. Now, you guys can see we're only getting like one tomato here and another tomato there. We're not getting clusters of cherry tomatoes, but nevertheless, this plant will still continue to provide us with cherry tomatoes during the fall and winter months here in our high tunnel greenhouse, as long as we continue to get out here and hand pollinate those blossoms as they appear on our plant, keep our plant well fertilized and watered. And the same thing again with our chocolate pepper plants back here, our red bell pepper plants back here, our yellow orange bell pepper plants back here, and our miniature red bell pepper plants back here also. Thanks for watching, and if indeed you do currently find yourself watching this video and you're not already subscribed to the Green Thumb Gardening channel, please take a moment to press that subscribe button beneath this video, that like button, the notification button, and be sure, Green Thumb Gardening family, be sure to share this video on the tomatoes and peppers that we're growing in our high tunnel greenhouse with your friends and family as well. Thanks for watching.